I made a new friend in quarantine. That crazy Amish lady. And intimacy. Better or worse in quarantine? All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations.
So I'm super curious. Did you make a new friend in quarantine who is that crazy Amish lady? Because the two of those things got jammed right next to each other. And I don't know if that was your intent.
It wasn't. I do have a story for you about the fact that I know every action I do outside of my house is much to the chagrin of all, right? It's like you shouldn't leave your house. You're in quarantine. Stay there. We have a couple of friends who constantly post how great they are for never leaving the house, and yay you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you want payment in Cheers, Hummers, like whatever it is that you want. I want to be here for you from a distance. But yeah, so every week I have one outing. I go away one time from this castle of quarantine, and I go to the Amish market. It is my happy place. They have all of the good stuff. So I go there and I do my shop. I speak to one human, and
does she
that
speak
work there.
English or does she speak
No.
Amish?
One human. I know one woman who goes there also. So
wait a minute. So when you go on your once weekly, I'm going to kill you motherfuckers unless I go to the Amish market essential outing for both mental health and snacks. So you do this in a coordinated effort with another person, or it just so happens that...
Just so happens.
That's so cool. And this is someone that you actually know, or another frequent shopper and, secret shiv holder who might snap at any moment in the produce aisle, or is this a proper friend?
No, she's we are on a committee together, and she's
the
lovely.
Committee to kill all you crackers.
Yes, that's exactly what the committee is. It's a school thing, and she's lovely, and her kid's graduating this year, and that graduating class is not having graduation, and is not having...
Yes, of course I know it. I know it intimately, and I can tell you a lot about it. But let me hear about the Amish market right now.
Okay, Amish market first, and then the sadness of the senior class. So I do my shop. We give each other through masked faces the chin up nod, and the recommendations. I'm like, this quiche is the best you've ever had, and she says, try this. So we'll go. We don't go around together, but we like pass each other once or twice in masked faces.
And to put it, and for those, I know the Amish market because I've had the glorious, blissful idea, I think, to be there twice with you. And never before. And this is unlike Reading Terminal Market and other markets. Let me just paint the picture quickly. So it is a bigger deal and an enclosed market, a bigger deal than a farmer's market, but it is much closer to a farmer's market style location than a supermarket. So the Amish market is made up of a series of permanent but stall-like stalls. So there's like a bakery section with cases, and then giant open concrete floor, and then you walk over to the deli-like section with all of the slaughtered animal that you didn't know was actually an animal, but wow, still somehow looks really good. And then you go down to the pickled and krauted area, and then there's also like ready-made, heated up corn and mystery casseroles. And then, so I mean, it's like each one of the, and then there's like, I think there's like a stationer for some reason. And then over in the corner, I think there's like candies and baking items, as if you fool, we're actually going to go home and make any of this when it's all here splayed out before you like so much splendor.
Exactly. And you've named all of my favorite ones. There are vegetables and fruits there too, but
There's peasant.
There's a donut case where you watch them make the donuts. Normally, I used to say, I'd like a dozen, and they take out the big box. Then I went to, I'll take 6. And then I went down to 4, please.
Oh, you're so cute. When you said, I'll take a dozen, I'll take 6, I thought you meant 6 dozen. I really honestly thought you meant 6 dozen for a second. No, don't make those big eyes, because I'm like, yeah, I could see that. I can get there. Because you also are the donut fairy. Because every time you do this, I think maybe it's part of your coping mechanism. Because I just thought, really, she did buy 6 dozen? Like, I could get there instantly. which made me think, okay, so you'd buy 6 dozen, eat a dozen in the car, and then think, I got to get rid of this fucking crack. And so you drive around everybody's house and be like, here's 4 donuts. Here's 6 donuts.
Yeah, so I did that this time. I got an extra 6 apple and blueberry fritters.
Oh my God.
Right? And once they put them in the box, they start steaming up that cellophane square rectangle in the middle of the box because they're still warm. And to be honest, my initial thought was, I'm going to drop these off at my vet. Because I do that every once in a while. Because I know I'm glad John's not here because he would say you give them enough money. Stop it. But I really love them.
Give them whatever you want to give them. I'm just saying you're never going to make it to the vet with that hot, steaming deliciousness.
No, I did, but their door was locked.
Oh, okay.
Their door was locked and they said, only with appointments. We're not blah, blah, blah. And in my intro, I told you I made a new friend.
Hello, vet. It's essential. It's an essential role.
Fritters are essential. So I made a new friend and I gave them to her and she was so gracious and lovely. And I'll tell you about her in a minute. But so I'm going through the Amish market and I'm finished. And there's a sign that says, we sell masks.
Oh.
Right.
Okay,
so I
sure,
have a friend who's making them, selling them for $10. I have somebody on Etsy who's doing them for $14. I guess if this is your craft you're using to make this, you can charge whatever the fuck you want. I'm not paying $20 for a mask when it's getting out of control. Like don't price gorge you paid $4 for that yard of fabric. You made 11 masks and you're charging 5 times as much per mask for whatever. It doesn't matter.
That's such an let's hold on that for a second because that's such an interesting perspective. I've got masks from all corners of the product sphere. I've got someone who was already in the business of making medically impregnated fabric items, as in it's a glove impregnated with an antibiotic. It's a knee brace, with beyond something instead of just Microban. It's now impregnated with a slow dose release of pain medicine, et cetera, this kind of stuff. So already in the production, shifted production into the masks and impregnated them in such a way where they're more effective than even the N95.
Triple filtered.
Sure. So, got on the news and here we're doing it and we're mass producing it. And you could order these and they were $40. And I'm sure that's worth every penny. But you know what? It's also a piece of black fabric that I now have to, figure out how to sanitize. There's that all the way down to the folks who are hacking it together from salvaged items at a place called Reconsidered Goods here. And, cobbled together with a few things from Office Max and good old elbow grease and ingenuity, leaving them on fences for people to pick up and hand distribute and deliver. So everything in between for free, everything in between, right? And connections at hospitals and spreading them all around. And I got to say, a $40 mask is probably worth $40. A $10 mask, a $20 mask is probably worth it. But I also don't want it. I want a mask that I can wear once and then light a flame. Like, I just don't want that shit going in my washing machine or be responsible for not sanitizing it in the right way. I got a lot of respect for people who think they're going to keep these things around and keep doing them. I don't know. And I think every 10 minutes, the whole mask mania changes a bit. So tell me, so you're irritated that people who should for a little bit less and not try to make even a pretty penny, even a single penny on it.
You can make $1 per, like your labor, your whatever. I'm not telling everybody they need to volunteer their time just because I'll put a scarf on a fence in the middle of the winter or 3 hats on a fence because I think it's cute for people to take that I've made. It's a hobby of mine. I'm not desperate for that $10, but I sell them for almost nothing when I do sell.
Well, here's the thing. And I actually was curious about this when I saw it happen in a related industry, and I'm curious to hear what your point of view is on it. I think, I'm trying to remember what the actual name of it is, and of course I don't have it called up because I didn't know we were going to talk about it. Something called like Don't Pay Me or Pay For Me or Don't Pay Them or something like this, where there's a tech guy whose whole deal it was to like help people pay their parking meter bills. Like he already existed in the space. Well, he came up with a way to help people process their unemployment claims faster. He built software in 8 days, and if you enter all of your information into his software, it will generate a paper form that they will then print out and mail to the office. to the unemployment office. And that actually was getting faster results through the mail than waiting in line or trying to get through on a phone line where people couldn't pick up. It turned out that was the fastest way. So he did all this, and I immediately thought, scam, scam, scam. Who wants to put their social security number? Not a scam. He doesn't keep any of the information. It's not stored in a database. It's just upload, and then it's basically a processing thing. Whatever. The point is, he did all that and released it for free. Charges nothing. Doesn't even charge 99 cents to process each application. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Not even the mailing fee.
It's nothing. It's just free. It's just out and free. He charges for other products and other software that he does, but he just did it. And that's the kind of thing where I thought to myself, I have been in business with people who I can immediately identify. That sounds exactly like something that they would do. Or even, I would do. That sounds like even something that's exactly the kind of business model. And I can tell you what a fight it would be to release that and not make a penny off it. I can already tell you, you look around and you just think about, okay, if you know somebody crafty enough in business and in tech, who are the people where you can look at them and immediately go, they would gouge, they would charge something, which you could argue is fair or a premium, or of course they can make something. The people who would do it for free are few and far between. And I'm not saying like out of the goodness of my heart or whatever. I would definitely do this for free, and I would have to be browbeaten into not doing it for free. And I'd be told I'm a fool for doing it for free because I couldn't sleep at night knowing that I was preying on people like that. I couldn't do it.
There's a in time of crisis, there's a duality here. There's a in time of crisis for you to do that and to gouge in such a way that's despicable. And then there's this is my business. This is my everyday. This is what I do. This is my skill. You can take your skill, your everyday, what you do, and you can donate that to a cause. You don't have to constantly feel the need to.
That's the sentence that I've been looking for my entire business career. And it's because it's never a time of crisis. It comes down to whenever there's work to be done. I do a lot of work with nonprofits, and there's always this pressure, this push-pull between how much of this should be given away for free. And I think that informs some of these previous podcast statements that I've said, that I think even when they come out of my mouth, I think, you're not that person. Come on. Why are you this ugly person who, when you talk about, look at the artists giving away everything, isn't that wonderful? And my first thought is they need to get paid, because part of it is I live in this world of people who never get paid and never have their fun, nonprofits who never get their work funded, who never are always looking and scrapping for something else. And frankly, are always coming with a handout. So can you please, theoretically, because the first thing they're going to do when they get it is give it to 8 other people for free and make nothing on it. So it's just this weird, and I don't know, not to get way too far off track from people selling masks and the fun that you have at the Amish market, which I think is deserved, right? I think it's deserved. People have to shop, meaning you physically have to get some food. So
I see this woman who's selling masks, right? And I walk over and I think, my husband works at a hospital and they make him use his mask over and over and over. They put it in a paper bag, and if he's going to eat, he has to store it carefully, put his name on the paper bag and whatever.
Is this you hypothetically, or is this you telling a home truth?
This is a home truth.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So I know I'm not going to get a mask for him to wear at the hospital, because that's not so great. I walk over to this woman who has this crafty shop. She sells lawn flags.
Right, and mailbox flags. Those are what they, right?
Things Jews don't know about.
Spring is here. It's spring.
Right.
Let's put out a flag. Yeah, we get that. I live in the South. We get lots of them.
Yeah, it's just things Jews don't know about. So she's sitting there with another older woman, and I said, we can't touch anything. I'm like, I'll take 4. I'll take that one, that one, that one, and that one. And she's packing up these masks, and she says, here, this is why it made a topic on our podcast. Ooh. This never would be happening if it wasn't an election year.
Oh, did you still buy the masks?
I had already paid. And I thought, do I engage? Do I engage with this woman?
The answer, of course, is no.
What the fuck are you talking about?
This wouldn't engage with me. We're engaged. Bring your engagement. I engage you.
What specifically wouldn't be happening?
Fuck.
A pandemic wouldn't be happening if this was an election year. We wouldn't have to wear masks if it wasn't. What are you saying, you fucking crackpot?
I agree, because part of me, I don't even know if she's on our team. Like, I don't know if that's pro-current madness or anti-current madness. It's so crackpotty. It doesn't even, it fits in both camps. I don't even know which side. If I'm against her, go ahead, go.
There was a meme that had a young woman holding a sign that says "My body, my choice," and that's actually the sign that we all brought for our women's march.
Yes.
Hate me or not, I don't care. But the choice that she was saying was hers was wearing or not wearing a mask. And then it said Trump 2020, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is happening?"
I really refrain. I refrain in actual life.
I know.
Because I've got a kind of a semi-private social feed that not everything that I post on socials makes it all the way into this group. And, a lot of what I would love to post, I still choose to not post. And the one that's been going around, I've seen it like 18 times from different people, all in various stages of shock. I'm sure you've seen it, which is a bunch of bros standing with signs on the steps of some common building. It must have been in Michigan. I think this was one of the first ones where they went out and protested the fact that their state had stay-at-home orders. And they went and protested this because they wanted set us free, right? And then the meme that went around, have you seen it? You know the meme I'm loading up? Oh, I've seen it 1,000 times. So the meme says something to the effect of, in that big white letters, like, "Hey, girl." It's one of those.
Yeah.
So at the top, it says, "This is what it looks like when a bunch of men realize they don't like it when the government tells you what you can do with your body."
Right. Try having a uterus. That's one of the ones I saw.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. So we're not trying to get political. I just want to tell you that when I honestly feel like there's a common enemy for the world, which is this virus, and scientists are finally able to say, this is how it's transmitted. As we learn more and more, we will tell you, as this common enemy, this horrible graphic of stupid whatever, there's still humans out there who think that this is absolutely a political grab in an election year. And
well, I got to tell you, because there is a subset of, it's hard to say humanity, a subset of humanity who are making this political and who are right when they understand that there are political components to this, and that is the sadness. So when you say, rightly, we're not getting political, we avoid that, we're not trying to be political, that's the point. This is an illness. This is science. This is not political, and it has absolutely become politicized in ways that damage people directly. And that's not an opinion. That's a straight up fact that can be borne out and proven in medical journal after independent newspaper, after global, reporting structure, after pick your organization. There's evidence of it. That's not my opinion. That's just a fact. And you can either choose to say damn right, or you can choose to say I don't like that. That's where I fall in the don't like it.
Yeah, I was really thrown, and if I hadn't already received my credit card back from her, I just don't even know what I would have done, because I think I have an answer for everything, but I'm truly fucking stunned.
Well, did you have any retort? Was there any vocalization out of your face other than and then bye?
I was grateful I was wearing a mask at the time because she couldn't see the look on my face.
Well, your eyes were still in your head, I think.
Yeah, my eyes exploded out of my head. That is very true. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely bat shit.
Well,
crazy.
18 gold stars and an extra free mask for you, free of COVID, because that was a great job you did not engaging with. Sometimes, the tiger's going to bite, and the best thing for you to do is keep walking past that cage. You don't have to fight the tiger every time.
I wanted to run from the tiger. The tiger is yeah.
Good answer.
I just couldn't. I couldn't. So that was my crazy Amish lady story, because I don't even. I just can't
Tales
believe.
of the outside, tales of the out of home.
Yeah. And while in quarantine, I made a new friend.
I kind of don't even understand how that works.
I know. So I have that backyard neighbor who's a crackhead who throws shit at my dog.
Super bitch.
I love that drop. And her next door neighbor, who I don't really know because she moved in just after we moved in here. We looked at their house actually before when it was for sale.
Hey, not good enough for me, but I'll be your friend.
No, we knew the people who live there. Shut up.
What's up? I passed, but you know what? You can live closer to the crazy lady.
So it's a private road. Yeah, right. I didn't know that at the time. It's a private road, and it's bad enough.
You know it.
It's oh my God. It's bad enough we have on-site septic and a well and all these new things to deal with. Mm-hmm. They also have to pay to have their street cared for.
Sure.
And it is the worst hill in the world. So in our backyard, we watch trucks and chicks and ducks and geese.
Gonna scurry.
Right. They all slide down that driveway, that street in the winter. And the trash truck has to go up there to get stuff. Everybody reverses and they slide back down. It's treacherous. And I didn't like a lot of things about that. So we didn't get that house. So anyway, she's out walking her dog. And I have 3 crazy canines that mad rush the fence to meet her dog. And I couldn't make them stop. So I walked out there to apologize. And she was delightful.
Oh, fantastic.
I met her youngest son. She has 3 boys. I only knew of 2 until she texted me because she's now a listener. And she said,
what?
Amy has 3 boys just like me.
Oh, come on. That's so funny. I do.
Yeah,
I do. And one dog, like most humans. Yep.
It's funny you say that because our rescue, with whom we're in kind of like a struggle because, you know, the botched neuter thing and reporting that vet for not being able to count to 2. So
Yeah, you'd think that had been covered.
Right. So they posted today that they, even during COVID, they are out at these places in the middle of nowhere, really puppy mills, and they are still rescuing dogs. And the video they posted had this like Shiba Inu, this little wolfy thing, and a dark red small poodle.
Shiba Inu? Is that like Sheena Easton's extra dog? Shiba Inu? Is that really a dog, or is that like a blended dog again?
No, it's a purebred dog.
Shiba Inu. Everyone knows about Shiba Inus.
Everybody knows
They live
that.
at the end of the private drive, and all you have to do is take your geese and ducks on the snowy day.
Slide right down.
Shiba Inu. Come on.
So they posted that, and I wrote, "We love the work you do. Now give me that poodle." And Stuart said, "What did huh?"
You are banned, and I'm telling you, I will break fast or whatever this is fucking called, and drive up there and slap that dog right out of your hands.
I would love to see you do that.
Break fast.
Challenge accepted.
As if I was fasting from fucking anything. Let's just cut to that. I'm eating while we podcast right now. I'm sure you could hear it.
Tell the listeners what you're having for breakfast.
Oh, this is in the South. We call it biscuits and gravy. So I made some homemade biscuits and some hot Niece's sausage. And speaking of it, here comes my dog barging in.
Wait, let me do it right. Hey, Amy, what's cooking?
Oh, it's homemade biscuits, gang. And white sausage gravy with hot Niece's sausage. And I had a few extra chives. So you know how I'm big on chives. I chop them up and put them on the top. And it's delicious because I have modified my biscuit recipe a bit. Friend from high school has started posting all sorts of like baking adventures. And he's a dude. So it's super fun. And actually a friend from the neighborhood and high school. And I guess college if I get right down to it. So we've been around a bit. In any event, his biscuits looked vastly different to my biscuits. And I thought, what the what?
That's a drop too, by the way. You're lucky John's not here anymore.
Did.
His biscuits looked
his biscuits
different than my biscuits.
Well, he did like store-bought can style biscuits, and by that I mean, of course, they were homemade biscuits. Everything he's doing is he'll make the whole meal, describe the meal that he makes, and then he does like the financial breakdown. So this cost me, $3 a serving or whatever it is. I'm like, aren't you great in math too? Fuck off. So the biscuits have that kind of flaky. My biscuits are sort of really tall and light and fluffy and big as your face. It's fantastic. And I cover the top with butter and salt and serve them with honey. And they're crazy, crazy fucking delicious. And they've got just enough of that brown butter on the base so that the bottom gets super, super tan golden, like Jamaica golden. And then crunch it to the top. So it's crunchy and salty, but the inside's still like very soft and light. So his were a bit different in that they were that kind where, you would peel the flakes off from
I think
Pillsbury.
it just came.
You know the ones where you peel them? Because it's like
Yes,
flake, a
layered.
flake, a flake, a flake, a flake,
Yeah.
a flake. Well, that's probably, I figured to myself, because I'm not looking up a fucking recipe. So I figured that was more of a croissant technique.
Right.
How-
Layer, layer, layer.
So I took some butter with the, some frozen butter with the vegetable peeler, and I peeled off some butter stripes and layered it in between, sandwiched it in there, got the dough nice and cold, and baked them. And it is kind of this hybrid of like super flaky layered, but also really tall and high. And yeah, it's tall and high. What's up?
What was that? Me in college? Wait, what?
It's very delicious. Yeah, I'm big on the, if you can eat it and temporarily forget what else is happening, then have it. So
well, you know this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't an election year.
I also bought bigger pants, and
That's my girl.
yep, I just did. Honestly, it was in the end of the second week. I thought to myself, Old Navy is really, really trying to climb up your crack. They just love you. They just, God, they're the best long distance boyfriend. They just want you all the time. In the middle of the night, you up? I got 50% off. So anyway, the
Extra 20 clearance. Extra
you know what?
20.
Their shorts were $10, and I thought, you know what?
I'm
Who-
worth it.
Who are you? Who are you to ever find $10 shorts when you need them? So it doesn't matter that they won't show up until August. Just order them. And they did. They took 3 weeks to get here, but they just got here yesterday. 3 pairs of shorts in, actually, I'll be completely honest. They are a full 2 sizes larger than I would have ordinarily got. And they're just a little bit loose, not crazy loose. And I thought, fine.
You got some growing room.
Well, it was the kind of thing where I don't know. Some of their sizes are so whack. Sometimes you put it on and it's like a tent. And then other times you put it on and you're thinking, what sort of, paper doll is
even the
supposed to
same
fit in
jeans.
this? Yeah, and it's the same numeric size.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was on the cusp of, I absolutely fit in a particular size, but that's where I was working to continue going past, So moving up from that size back into, I should probably go a size up. I just said, fuck it. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going back up, So instead of I had just landed in this, oh, look, but they feel a little snug sometimes. Did these just come out of the dryer? Like that size? No,
I told you last week that my fat pants were tightening on me to the point where I was uncomfortable with the fact that I knew in my head they were fat pants.
And the solution is you need a bigger pair of pants and move the fuck on. I'm not
That's
playing.
what we've been talking about.
I'm not playing. I'm not. And I'm not going to these gym things that are super fantastic. My whole gym has turned into this Zoom marathon, and everybody is so supportive, and it's so fantastic. And I even thought about just showing up just to watch them, but I'm not there. No, just to say like, hey guys, this is all I can do today.
Exercise porn.
No, just to no, because they would be able to see me. Like, I mean, honestly, you're talking to a gal that there was a time in my life where I had to give myself a gold star for driving to the place and sitting in the parking lot. Or going into the gym and doing 5 minutes and then going into the locker room and sitting there for 20 minutes. Because it's like, I was here. That's how far off some of this shit is. So it's like, okay, that's fine. So I will bake and cook and cook and cook and bake and bake and bake and, sanitize every single, not sanitize for the sake of, sanitize by cleaning all of the porch fabric. We're in the process of replacing, I just washed within an inch of their lives all of the exterior cushion fabric, and now I'm figuring out how to put that back on. And there's this whole procedure where you wrap the interior cushions with silk. It's like, for God's sake. Okay. No.
Seriously?
And because I don't know if you've ever taken apart any cushion with a removable zippered cover. Least of all,
never fits back on right.
It never fits back on right. And sometimes, many times, it's already encased in something that looks like a kind of a muslin bag, sometimes with some quilty business. Well, methinks those are what this silk, I was trying to replace those muslin bags because some of them, these are outdoor cushions. They've been out there for 5 years. The actual cushion cover is great, but the interior muslin thing is starting to deteriorate. I was like, let's buy, how hard can this be? They sell them, surely. Nope. Anyway, couldn't find them. What I could find is something called a silk liner, and it looks like as thin as a piece of cello or saran wrap, right? Comes in these big, broad sheets. You wrap it around the cushion, and then you stick your vacuum nozzle tube underneath the silk on top of the cushion, turn it on, and then the silk shrink wraps your cushion, and it compresses it like one of those space bags.
Oh.
Then you can put this no sound silk. You slip the cushion in. The bag, the cushion cover is now floating. It's like, this is the wrong size. And then you turn off the vacuum and it goes poink, and instantly it fills the cushion out as if it came right from the factory. And depending on the kind of cushion you have, they call it no sound silk. So you can just leave that silk thing on. You don't even have to worry about it. But in the case of outdoor stuff, you kind of have to go in there and sort of, they showed these gentlemen in there expertly. They would stick their hand in and go boink, boink, and then it would like come flying out. You know how it is when you watch somebody doing something.
I've watched somebody
Assembly
fold
line.
a king-size sheet by themselves
Right.
100 times, and there's no fucking way I could do it. But I get it.
And every 2 months, I get it in my head that this is the month, gang. I'm going to invest this bitch. And then I think, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And I shove it in a pillowcase and walk on. That's it. No. So anyway, now today is shoving those cushions back in their cases without the silk day. So that's going to be super fun.
We do the Sunbrella. You know that brand?
That's
Sunbrella?
that's what this is. Yeah.
We do those, and the inside cushion is water resistant. So all you need to do is turn it up on its side, and nothing absorbs. All the water runs out, and you need to give it like an hour in the sun, and
That's
you're
called
dry.
a quick dry cushion, I have so learned. And you can't use it with that silk, and not knowing if my cushions are quick dry, which I think they are because they dry pretty quick. If you use the silk, you must remove it all. Otherwise, you're going to trap the moisture in there in the future, and you're going to ruin your cushion. So I was like, all right, even if I could get this silk, which I'm sure it would take 8 months to get here, whatever.
We line that shit up on the fence, and we soap and brush. We soap them all down, and we use the nozzle, and that's how we clean it. But Stuart started taking them to the laundromat.
Yeah, I took it to the washing machine upstairs.
He didn't.
I had great
He
results.
did the whole thing, inside, outside. He did the whole thing, not unzip. Just leave everything as one whole entity.
He washed the cushion.
Yep,
He took the entire unzippered cushion.
The entire unit, not unzipped. He never touched the zipper. He put it all in one of those.
Was he some kind of fucking wizard? That's
put them in-
brilliant.
Well, at a laundromat, they have those really big machines, so he put them in there, and then he brought them home mostly wet because they dry so quickly, and he just left them outside to dry. That's how we start a season. And our laundromat that used to do all of the kids' clothes when we bring them home from camp, we would go to the laundromat and do all the kids' clothes there because I want that shit in my house, really.
Well, you can also get it done all at once. It's about speed for us.
And it's exactly, and it's all at once. So they
oh
closed.
My delicious deliciousness. No, I have had for 2 years now this idea that I was going to use. It's called RIT. I was going to use that RIT dye, and I was going to super saturate and dye the cushions because we had them in the covered porch, and then we changed the furniture there and put those outside. And since they've been outside, they've faded. But they
Tell the dear listener what color they are to start with.
They are like turquoise. It's like a peacock blue. You know that Caribbean blue.
I do. I've seen them.
The bluest of the blue. It's like the blue of your microphone. It's like it's a little bit deeper shade of the blue of an Aleve pill.
Or
those liquid gels.
Or you know that little pill that men sometimes take. It's that color.
I guess blue painter's tape. That's the blue. It's that kind of tropicale blue. So anyway, blue. And so now some of them where the back cushion would rest on the seat cushion, it's still underneath the cushion, that beautiful blue. And then there are other places where it's like faded by the sun. So so now they're like multi-blue, and it's just.
So what would you dye them?
Well, I hadn't really gotten that far because the whole point was I was going to go to a laundromat to get this done. And I know you're not supposed to do any dyeing at a laundromat because it's against the rules, but I'm also not going to do it at home. So I would break the rules because they won't let you do it. They say don't do it at the laundromat because it'll ruin the machines. How can it really ruin the machines, though? If the RIT dye says do it at home, surely.
I'm the idiot who follows you at the laundromat with my kids' clothes, and I come home with all peacock blue clothes for my kids.
No. And I've never done this, and even if I were to do it, there's a whole instruction on the thing because I thought, well, I could do it in a utility sink. I could do it here. I could do it there. People do this shit in their bathtub. There's a way to do this.
Yeah,
it's just
tie-dye.
I haven't gotten that far, is my point to you. So, anywho,
that sounds
clean.
like a big project that I don't want anything to do with.
Right. And the little one was so bored yesterday, which I'm like, how could anybody be bored with so many things that are still waiting yet to be done? And I just didn't have the heart to give him an assignment. So I was like, he said, I would like to go spray paint something. Can I do this? He came to me with his plan. And I was like, okay. So we gave him some scrap wood, sent him out in the back. March. Psst. I should have said, why don't you take these 4 tables that mommy needs to spray paint? Can you do these for me? Then I thought, no, because I actually want those done properly.
Right. It wouldn't be even. It wouldn't be. Yeah.
And
that
I don't
wouldn't be
I don't
great.
have the colors. I would only spray paint. That's part of that outside. It's their metal tables, and I don't even know. I had this vision of I'll come up with a color palette and make everything great, because I could do the tables white. I could do the cushions navy blue, and I could have like a little nautical blue and white, and some kind of fun thing out there. I could. Who knows where I could go?
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do it, so there you have it.
I'm gonna come see you this summer.
You say that.
We'll
say
podcast
that.
together.
You say that.
I do often. I might have to bring my kids because there might be no camp.
There's always Camp Fugazi.
Yeah, Camp Fugazi. All right, so there are people who are waving that banner, I'm the best in quarantine. Then comes something like cleaning your house and grooming your dog.
Oh my God.
What do you do?
You don't. How about that? Let's start with you don't do it. Now, I think here's the trick.
These are people, wait, Amy, these are people who need the money really badly.
Oh, I totally misunderstood what you were saying. Load me up again. I thought, I was going to completely different. Load me up again. I missed the point of what you were saying entirely. So hit it again. Go to the top.
Your cleaning lady, your dog groomer, these are people who are depending on cash, right?
Yeah. So home services personnel and others, right, who would have a job, in this case, it's totally not the same, but just for the sake of it, a friend of a friend is a masseuse.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, you cannot. That's a lot of contact.
Touching.
You cannot. So, that's all done. But can you safely maybe figure out a way to clean the house, or that's where it starts to get gray area. And some people have said hair salons, I don't think that's really a gray area. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Now I'm picking up what you're putting down. I missed it
So I got a
before.
text from the cleaning lady, and she said, all in Spanish. So I'm pretty sure she said,
Well, are you still paying her for not coming?
should I?
Well, I have friends who are, and I don't know, and I have friends who aren't. So I think most people aren't. I think most people fall into the category of, if you're not doing the work, then you don't get the pay. That's how
Well,
business
you know that
works.
as an independent contractor.
I do, but I also have a friend who is sort of bemoaning and saying, this is so awful because the house is a wreck. I'm cleaning it all the time, and I'm still paying the damn cleaning people because what else can we do? Blah, 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 blah. And this is a person who, that makes sense that you would do that. But I am amazed, beyond amazed, to tell you, in my own house, there was a setup at my husband's office where there were a variety of employees who, once their particular projects and things stopped, technically they should stop getting paid, but he's still paying them. So I was like, you are? Great. That's great. And I'm also thinking, how much flour do we have? No, I mean, it's great though, but that's exactly what you want. So we have a cleaning person who has not been here in, 8 months, because I've let the things lapse anyway. But if she had been coming, I would not be paying her to not come. I'm not in that position. I wouldn't be doing that. So I didn't know where you fell on this. I think most people fall on, you don't do the work, you don't get the pay. That's how work works.
So the all Spanish text I got said, coronavirus, no limpiar. So I was like, all right, not
What's
cleaning.
no limpiar mean? No clean?
Not to clean, right. She's not cleaning because of the
Okay.
virus, right?
Okay.
So a week passes, and we're like, all right, you do the toilets, you sweep
Right,
the floors,
right,
you
right.
paint the fence.
Let me
right.
introduce you. This is called a dustpan. Yeah.
Right. My kids go to camp, so they know what it's like to clean their own space.
Well, they've seen it done.
No, they clean themselves at camp. They don't have anybody that cleans for them. So another week passes, and I'm like, this is kind of putting me out a little. I see the dust on surfaces I thought I got, and I was like,
No limpiar, no bueno, baby. I mean,
Right. Then the third week, I get a text that says, ¿Quiere limpiar?
what's chiare mean? Wanna?
Do you want us to clean?
Wanna? It's
Want
that's the
to
equivalent. That's the equivalent of you up.
You up?
You down for some pledge?
So I wrote, if you're okay with it, we're
Okay.
okay with it. And then we all piled into the basement. We got away from, there's no contact. We don't see them at all, other than on camera to know when they're gone. But with 3 dogs, sometimes 4 people all hanging in the basement. Sometimes the kids are doing school. Sometimes we are watching a movie together, but we let them clean the house the last 2 weeks.
Does anything change? Do you have them open windows for 20 minutes after they've been in? Do you care at all? I mean, they just clean it normally. When they're done, you come upstairs. That's how it is?
Yep.
Okay.
That's how it is. Do we open windows anyway? Yeah, because the house smells great and it smells great outside. And before the dogs go out and roll in hay and shit, it seems like a good thing to do. Oh, dogs. So yeah, the last 2 weeks we've let them do that. And then comes the dog groomer. Well, I'm not taking them to a dog groomer. Like I'm not, but she doesn't have any money coming in. She's paying rent and her boyfriend who lives with her, like, I can't just pay you not to groom my dogs. I mean, it's one thing with a house cleaner who came more frequently, but I don't know what to do. So,
Well, I would phrase and frame the question a
Yeah.
little differently.
go ahead.
And I would begin with these are hierarchical needs. So you start with,
Was this Maslow lesson right now?
does my dog require grooming? These are yes or no. Does
Oh,
my
you
dog
want my
Yes,
answers?
does my dog require grooming?
Yes.
Do all of my dogs require grooming simultaneously?
Yes.
What occurs if my dogs are not groomed for their health? Is it detrimental for their health?
No.
Will it needlessly complicate their refreshed grooming once and when that can safely occur?
I mean, I have to brush them. I have poodles, so they dreadlock. It gets ugly.
So,
Um,
so to a point, yes, there will come a point when this is causing an undue strain on you, and it will become
On them.
and
yeah.
because it'll become way more complicated to groom them, and they will get uncomfortable. And so, I mean, to a certain point, you can manage it until you can't manage it, right?
Right.
And by can't, we all know what we're talking about. But
Right.
yes, effectively, yeah, it's not like this is a nothing. This isn't like if they really needed a bath, you could wash them yourself. It's not
So
about that.
I have trimmed nails and I have cut hair away from their eyes so they can see. Like
You're
they
doing
would do-
basic maintenance already.
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
And that's
Yeah.
crazy that you can get that shit done. Wow.
No,
Okay.
it's sit
Nails?
still.
Nails are a big deal. Nails are a big deal for big dogs. They're a big deal for little
But
dogs.
if you have a dog that's not a dick, it's okay. I hear a double of my voice, and I would hate to throw out this entire recording. This would really suck.
I don't. Maybe I'm sitting too close to the microphone because I want to be so close to
I don't know. This morning you have a super sexy voice on.
you. That's the sound of pain. Back to you. So
Yeah.
the idea, everything comes down to me. I know this isn't a massive exaggeration, but it's the sleep at night test. It's the kid on the airplane test. We went over this before, and it comes down to, okay, am I willing to trade the life and safety of everyone in this household to get this done? And if the answer is anywhere on the no, then it's a no. If it's a maybe, that's when you start to figure out how else can I get this done? And it sounds like it's a maybe because, you think, well, now you start to say, what are play the odds, right? If it's no, this is not that critical, then you've already identified, you don't even need to worry about it. It's not that critical, let it go. But in this case, they are going to get mad at. You are going to have to keep doing this. There is a certain point when it's not your skill. It's going to get out of your control. Is there something can be done? Can you meet her somewhere? Meaning, can she do it in a van? Can she do it in the street? Like, how can this happen?
I would not, could not in a house. I would not, could not with a mouse. Look, we send a human in our house. Remember you said that your husband takes all the risk for your family? He is your patient zero.
100% the viral load.
He takes, I thought you used to take his viral load, but it seems he's taking it now.
No comment.
So I send a human that comes back to my bed and my home
Right.
into a war zone pretty much
Right.
On the regular.
Right.
So on the scale of things, a young woman who has been quarantined for a month is itchy and hungry. She's considering coming in masked to our house.
No, the answer is no, not into the house. And the answer is as much for her as it is for you. But you're also bringing up the piece that started this whole chain of events, and that is your responsibility to her as her quasi-direct employee, as her quasi-friend, beyond acquaintance relationship, and all of that as a sympathetic human on the planet in a position to have something that benefits you and disproportionately benefits her. These are all parts of the variable of that maybe. And so I would say, look at ways that you can do it to lessen the risk to her and to you, because you, better than me, know how this contagion works. She is less likely to contaminate you and yours than you are to contaminate her. And if she meets with 3 other patients that day, you potentially have become the reverse Florence Nightingale of death, spreading this through her clippers to other people. It's deadly serious. And I think you know for me that it is deadly serious. So the idea is, can she perform this service? Can she get paid with 0 contact to anybody in your house? And the answer is, yeah. She can meet your dogs in your garage.
Outside,
She can do it with a hose outside. She can maybe have a car or a van set up that, I don't think she's going to rent a van if she doesn't already have a van, but she can certainly, maybe there's a table that she brings, right?
She does.
Yeah.
Outside.
Do it. And get it, and then pay her, and then say, I will Venmo you. I will, and look through the little glass window and wave at her like a sad prisoner. But the idea is, no, she doesn't deserve any contact with you guys any more than you deserve it with her, because she could collect your, it's a question of prolonged exposure. The likelihood that either one of you are going to infect the other comes with, is it more than 5 minutes? Is it more than 10 minutes? Is it if you're actively spreading things and you touch the thing that touches the thing that touches the thing? But most of it is, if you're not doing the sneezing and you're asymptomatic, it's just time. If you spend the hour chatting with her, if you spend the evening sitting as our down the street cul-de-sac neighbors did all evening long, sitting in their lawn chairs with their kids commingling and playing with each other, and as they've done frequently.
Neighbors' kids are playing?
Yeah, as they have done almost throughout. I think they've treated their households as a combined family unit, and I don't know them. I know
That's so weird.
I know them to wave to them and to receive the waves, and that's it. And they're at the end of the street doing like little mini block party. It's not, I just watch it and think, you're little tiny training wheel bike kids playing with each other. And I just think to myself, okay, I don't give it a whole lot of thought, but when I do, I hope that they're not breaking their bubble. Maybe they have all their groceries delivered and none of them left their house. Maybe they all work from home. Instead of maybe somebody's a doctor, or maybe somebody works at the supermarket and touches everything and comes home. You know what I mean? It's like the one contact that you have that you think is okay. Every person that you come into contact with includes all of their contacts. So
right. It's like that sexually transmitted disease. You're getting it from everywhere.
Meeting the groomer means her boyfriend's mother might be infected, and now you have through her, you're connected to her boyfriend's mother. You are, because your dogs are getting groomed. It's not fucking worth it. But there is a way to get her a paycheck, and there is a way to get your dogs groomed, and
with
that's
zero contact.
Just get fucking creative. And I think it's great when people are doing things like lining up to go to the dairy farm that's having to dump 80,000 gallons of milk in our community. Then they're waiting for 6 hours to buy milk, which they don't even really need because it's a sunny day, and getting pissed sitting in the line because they also sell ice cream there. But it's like, you know what? Yeah, let's help them. Let's help them because they're letting their cows dry up, because otherwise now what? Because all the restaurants aren't buying it. It's because the restaurants
don't worry,
are schools.
People are going to charge $30 for a mask because they're gouging. Like, listen to all the nice things you just said people in your area are doing. That's really sweet. I love that.
Well, I don't know what to say.
I caught up watching. Oh, I do want to tell you there was a Zoom call last night of our friends that you did not join in on.
I saw. I thought about it earlier in the day, and it was too much for me. I couldn't do it.
So I want to let you know the news from our friends. Marnie's household has lice. What did I tell you was worse than this virus?
Oh, for fuck's sake. And they're all in there with all their hairy goodness. For fuck's sake.
It seems her daughter went to a sleepover.
How? When did she sleep? What the fuck?
5 weeks ago, she
Is
went
that
to a
the
sleepover.
gestation period of a lice? Is a single lice a lie? What's a lice? Is there always more than one? They're never
Always.
alone.
There's
They're
never a
fucking
lie.
groupies. Oh, gross.
So somebody said on the call, "Didn't you fucking itch?" What's wrong with you? What do you mean 5 weeks ago? Didn't you fucking itch?
Oh my god.
And they're like, yeah.
I'm itching
And then-
right now.
Yes. Dear listener, is there any other word in the English language or any language that makes your skin crawl or your scalp itch the way the word lice does?
Stop saying lice. What is wrong? Ah, bleh. Ugh.
So everyone got
we
it.
have, and I say this with full disclosure and solidarity. We have had lice visit our children, not in this house, but we've had lice visit our children before. So I know that it ain't nobody's fault. It's not about that. But fuck, it's fucking gross, and nobody wants it, and sick, ew.
And it's not a sign of dirt or
No,
unclean
no.
or whatever, but there are 4 of them in the household. Everybody got it except for Lisa.
Of course, because fucking course, of course.
And Lisa wore their daughter's helmet, bicycle
course she
helmet,
did.
a few days earlier before
Lisa braided her daughter's hair into her own hair and kept it that way for
Still
6
didn't
weeks
get
and
it.
still didn't fucking thank you, Lisa. God, that woman.
So
Lisa won the lottery while everyone else got lice.
I think it is winning the lottery not to have
Both.
lice.
It's both. In addition to not getting lice, she also won the lottery.
Yeah,
Ugh.
so that was really Annie's getting a dog. This one's got but Marnie's family has lice, and they're doing wild construction, so they're living in an apartment upstairs. So they're all
they
on
are.
top of each other like kittens in a litter.
Oh God.
Right. So that I
bless.
feel is the worst fate, and that's a house you don't enter for any reason.
It's pretty fucking bad. That's pretty no good.
Ugh. Life is Good has that brand has
I
a
do.
bunch of new T-shirts out. I wore one the other day and posted it. I think on.
I saw it. I think it was a brilliant observation.
Okay, good. I think I posted it everywhere. It said superheroes wear scrubs,
I know.
but
so
then make
cute.
their families wash them after they.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's super.
So I thought they have some really cute ones too about homeschooling that made me think, oh, I could definitely start giving these out to people as gifts.
Nice. Very nice.
I caught up on watching Dave, that FX show that I told you to watch a while ago. It's Lil Dicky, that rapper, that very white
Yes.
Jewish rapper.
Yes.
The show is hilarious. I wanted not to like it, but I love it. And there was a line that made me think of us, of
What?
you, of
What?
yeah.
Tell me.
It's so funny. So I'm watching, and then Dave's going on about something, and his buddy, turns to him and says, "Why are you so passionate about the least important things?"
Yes, I agree. You've nailed it. You put
And
your finger on the pulse.
"Yes."
I don't
So
answer to you, Dave. Yes.
I mean, we're passionate about important things also,
You maybe, but I mean important things. Yes.
but we are so passionate about the least important things.
Here.
Cheers
here.
to that. You should definitely find.
I
Dave.
need it. I am so struggling. Brian's go-to is really hard on
He would
me.
love Dave.
I hope so, because his go-to, first of all, he went all the way. I think I told you this Breaking Bad marathon, which I'd already seen, but it was like ultimate downer. God bless. Then he's Better Call Saul marathon, which is another downer. It's like great, and God help us. I don't know why we thought this was going to be okay. I'm 2 episodes in, and I don't think I can continue, even though I think I've already cracked the code to that Amazon Nazi hunters thing. I had nightmares. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even watch the first episode. I had to turn it off midway. It was so awful. It was so awful. But at the same time, it's like, I gotta watch them kill these Nazis. But it's just too much. Honestly, it's so hard. I don't know how anybody with a closer connection to this could even get through it. I couldn't even get through it. And I'm a goy. Is that what I am?
You're a shiksa, yes.
I'm a shiksa. I'm a shiksa, baby. And I couldn't even, oh my God, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, stop. Oh my God, they have this horrible, horrible little pretty Nazi in there. And he says the ugliest things. He does these super ugly things, but even just the things that he says that aren't even that insidious, they're just, it's almost worse. I don't know. I don't even want to repeat it here because it's so gross. He was in a laundromat and he was talking to someone, a stranger to him in the laundromat, and just talking to her. And it was this creepy, implied subtext threat where it was just a throw. Do you not remember it at all?
Oh, I stopped watching it. Well, I told you, Stuart started it.
Yeah,
in
this was
episode.
This was episode 1, baby.
No, we started at
1.
episode 8, and then we yelled at Stuart and put it away.
Right. It's so hard. And now it's like, I gotta join these vigilantes when they kill all the Nazis, though.
Can you take a break, please, and tonight sit with Brian and watch Dave? It's on Hulu. I'll give you my password if you don't have it.
And we have Hulu.
I know, you have everything.
Do you think that there is something when it comes to entertainment that we don't have?
Speaking of which, what about Sundance? Sundance has
I have it. Yeah.
Well, I need to join it because they have, and no one saw a thing or no one said a word. There's a true crime series on there that I'm desperate to see.
I can't do this. Everybody else turned me on before to Making a Murderer.
Yeah.
God, that was so awful. And then you can't stop it. You're watching it this whole time going, why do I keep torturing myself and I won't stop?
Well, there was a second season, and I said to Stuart, I'm like, I cannot watch a second season of this. Basically, because I know, spoiler alert, turn off now, he's still in jail. So I don't know what you're hoping to do with season 2.
Well,
but Dave is the answer to all of your spiral.
Because I now have watched that movie Long Shot that I told you I saw and I liked. I've now watched it about 6 times because I watched that because I'm at the point where one of the many realizations is that I have to work really hard to get to a manageable state, and it's so much easier to lose it and snap out of it than it is to keep it. So I'm very protective of that. And the music that we listen to and the shows that we watch and the conversations and whatever, it's like, nope, I got to exit from that. Nope, can't do that.
Well, then you should definitely exit from what you're watching now.
Well, that was a whole thing. It was like, what if I turned it on and I couldn't sleep anyway. And so I thought, well, let's see what this is. Maybe it'll completely distract me, because who doesn't like, these are bad guys. Who wouldn't like to see a bad guy get something? No, it's not. There is no solution. It's like The Handmaiden, I think it was.
Handmaid's Tale.
Not Handmaid's Tale. There was another one, and then I'm butchering the name of it. But there was a play, and it was a movie, and it had Glenn Close in it. And it's anyway, it's a tale of somebody who meets their torturer, and then what happens. So and it's basically similar setup. And I honestly, but it's the idea of it is there is no way to win. There's no way to win. You either become the thing that you hate, so you are worse than them, right? Or you let them walk free, and now you are victimized all over again. So it's like, this is a wonderful thing to have while we're in quarantine. No.
Amy, why are you so passionate about the least important things?
Yeah, that's me. That's me. Passionate about these biscuits. They're fucking
Open
good,
wound.
though.
You're an open wound.
They're fucking good, though.
Okay, intimacy, better or worse in quarantine?
You're having intimacy during quarantine?
I mean, the kids are always here, but the door still locks, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, there's nothing. They've lived here before. I don't know what was happening in your house. None of that has changed. They were still here at night, which is typically our time. So, it's not like it's 2:30. Hey, where them kids at? We're not that quarantinized. We're on the trauma team instead of the quarantine. That's what's happening now. So I think it's fine. And if anything, everyone has carved out. We are, I think it's pretty obvious, very, very fortunate people. And we have a large house. So everybody has their own, everybody has at least 2 private spaces, at least 2 that they have completely commandeered. Everyone has their room, which is their private space. And then every person, all 5 of us, have a second room, which is largely yours to command and control, period. You've taken it over. Everyone. And there's more rooms left. So This is the office for this child. This is the office for that child. This is the school for this child. This is the whatever. This one takes over the exercise room, is now the dance studio, which is hilarious because we've got the senior who was doing something called show choir. He was competitive. It's like a competitive thing, I guess. Like
we've seen Glee. We know what it is.
Okay, well, he was in it. Okay, and so of course that's all canceled. So the assignment has been among many assignments. This one is to go find a piece of choreography that you really respond to, teach it to yourself, and then film yourself doing it and present that to me. So they're like having to do like mini assignments. So we've got the exercise room has one wall as a big mirror. So he's in there doing his kind of, it's hilarious. And so now I've forced him. I said, look, if you're going to do that, you have to, first of all, let's take the dining room furniture and move it out of the dining room and use the whole dining room so you can really boy, or whatever your scat is going to be.
Crazy boy.
Right. If you're going to be a
Stay
tool,
cool,
let's
boy.
do it. Let's really ass it up. Because that's it. So he picked the biggest, assiest, dopiest fucking shit that he could find, like purposefully, to be to be a total idiot.
Got
So
a rocket in my pocket.
he went, and then I said, okay, or we'll do the whole back porch because it's a very big screen back porch. We'll move all the furniture out. And he's like, no, I'm not doing this outside. And I was like, okay. So then he found a duet, which is, I want to say it was to something Stevie Wonder. No, Earth, Wind and Fire. Because I was like, it's something that I would love. And he was like, I will move out the furniture in the dining room if you agree on my next assignment to be my duet partner. So I have to learn this whole fucking dance. So yeah.
God.
And it's so it's like walking in a circle with your arms out. Like it's almost like, let's see how stupid we can make you look. Like that's what this is. So once the puzzle is finished, then we're going to break it down.
My son would never ask me to do that with him.
Au contraire, bat
He would
mitzvah.
Never. I forced them to do that choreographed dance, and I loved
super cute, gang.
every minute of it.
All four of them got up there and did like the and somebody had light up sneakers. The whole
Ethan
thing
did,
was
yeah.
fucking crazy.
So cute. It was so cute.
It was
Oh, I
very.
loved
It was like a family song. It was like, we are something family.
No, Our
And
House.
There were 3 or 4 different songs cut together.
Yeah. I think we're good for today. I just want to tell you that in our house, the boy needs to take an online driving course so we can get a discount on our insurance, which was a raping when you have a teenage boy and paying insurance.
Try having 3. Yeah, try having 3.
Crazy. So he has to do this. So he's online and he found a way to log 30 hours by leaving the computer on because it's a 30-hour course. Well, why do something right and learn something when you can find a workaround is really all we're teaching our kids, don't you think?
Well, the crafty ones are teaching us. But yes.
The crafty ones. The biggest derelicts are teaching us.
I have nothing but I have no hate for anybody who wants to work this fucking system because my whole mentality right now, sadly, is some of this shit, I just need to make it go away. And I can't really know because in my house, particularly the one in the middle, he's not ever going to say what's happening with him. You never are going to know. And part of it is because he himself won't know for a while. And when he does finally know, it'll be 2 or 3 years before he would admit it out loud to me. So that's how long it takes for me to understand the issue of the moment. So when why do I want to say when the cow sings? When the bee stings? When the something strikes? What strikes in that song?
When you're feeling down.
Yeah. When
something.
the something strikes. When the bee stings. When I'm feeling
Ginger,
sad.
where are you? Help us.
When the something strikes. Whatever the fuck. When the fuck strikes. When the fuck strikes. I know it takes that long for me to figure out and for him, right? So
So you're already on to the next thing already.
Right. So if his modus operandi today is I'm going to get around this fucking thing that in the grand scheme of things ain't going to matter anyway. I'm going to check that box. Check the box, pal. At least the box has been checked. I've got some friends whose kids aren't even showing up. So it's like, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll worry about bigger fish.
I have 3. My sister-in-law has 3 sons as well. Totally different. All of them are totally different. But that middle one is the one who knows the least amount he has to do to get the best possible result.
Amen. You've got the secret to life.
And I thought, why wouldn't you just give it all you've got? Why, Aunt Melissa, why would I give it all I've got if I only need to give it 2/3 and I can still walk away with an A or
Right.
whatever the prize was at the end? I can still win if I don't give it everything. And I give
On the one hand, you are completely right, and this is a solid disappointment. But
yeah.
on the other hand, not all rich people are bad. People with excess money can do good things with their money. People with excess efficiency and time and craftiness, he doesn't have to exert a world's worth of energy to get an even A, E, or A on the A. Get the A, move on, and do something else with your fucking time. At a certain point, being efficient and knowing what your goals are and what's important
Is a skill.
that's a skill. There's
Right.
always a sunny side. There's always a sunny side.
Yeah, I'll tell my sister-in-law that when she says, how come he can't seem to manage to...
Because the answer is this. He's not
smarter
saying-
than you.
He's not saying I will do the bare minimum to get the D and walk away.
Right.
That's a
Right.
different kid.
Yes.
If he's doing the bare minimum to get the A, find
Yes.
find a harder school. That shit's on you. That's not on him. And I'm peace out.
And you know what? 2 years ago, that would have been super helpful. No, he actually already graduated from Penn State, but that was the kid he always was. And
Wow.
I respected him for it. I mean, I really did. I thought two things. I thought, you're fantastic, number one. And number two, stay the fuck away from my son, because I really want him to want to do the best with the most effort. And
I
if
hear
this
your
is
point.
where he
I hear
winds
your
up.
point. I hear your point. And we have this challenge with some extended friends whose kids, go to public school, and they're thrust into an environment with a mixed range of kids, hundreds of kids in the same grade, hundreds and hundreds with an S of kids in the same grade, some of whom could show up to the big presentation day. I'm doing my big presentation. Everybody's in the gym. We're doing this big presentation. Other kids are wearing a full costume that it doesn't have to be rich costume, but they've put a lot of energy and attention and thought into it, and the slides and the thing, and put it up on the poster board. And somebody else is standing there wearing gym shorts with index cards that it looks like the teacher has written in pencil 5 minutes ago. That's the range. So when that's your peer set, it's really challenging. So part of it is there's always going to be somebody who's trying harder than you. There's always going to be somebody who is a whole lot better than you. And there's a million people who aren't trying as hard as you, and even more who aren't as good as you. So effort counts, talent counts, and when you put the two together, take it as far as it can go. That's it.
He's going pretty far too. He's doing really well. All three of them are doing really well. Dear listeners, is your cleaning lady still coming? Do your dog's nails curl
Does she
all
make
the way
house
around?
calls? Can she visit us?
What services did you get your manicure done? Like, what services are you slowly easing back into because you can't take it anymore, or you want to financially support and help supporting your local groomer, house cleaner, pedicurist? I don't recommend those, by the way. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you at Listen Brilliant anywhere on the socials. brilliantobservations@gmail.com is where you can write us and tell us your story of woe or whoa. We want to hear them both. Thanks for listening, guys.